Yo, Chill Crew, welcome back to the channel, man. I appreciate y'all being here. We got some things we got to talk about. Matter of fact, I think you already saw from the thumbnail what we're about to dive into. It's called Gigantes Ex Machina. Now this game here, it reminds me of basically, like the roguelike, right? But it's a combination of roguelike and Armored Core 6. And I can say that because I got this. That's right, this right here. In case you didn't know what it was, let me bring it closer to you. Look, this thing right here, Collector's Edition, Armored Core 6, I know what I'm talking about. Even played it on PlayStation. I bought it twice. That's right. Getting back into this though. Gigantes Ex Machina is a pretty cool Armored Core-like game that is based on your typical roguelite. One of the things that I found intriguing about this game is the demo, right? We got to dive into the demo and it was pretty cool stuff, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, this thing seemed really cool, and I posted this video up quite a while ago of us playing through the demo. Now, when I was playing through the demo, I was playing late at night. I swear, I was kind of actually saying this in the video, but I was going through Steam, just clicking on different types of mech games. I did everything from RTS mech games to action mech games, to just all kinds of mech games. And I came across this one isometric top-down mech game, and I said, huh? I dug into it, right? But also when I dug into it, I started to realize that we are playing a game that's both for PC and mobile. So I said, you know what? We gotta pick this thing up and try it out. Maybe 2 hours later, I was into this thing from midnight to like 3 a.m. attempting to beat this demo. And that's what was happening in this video. But it's pretty cool. We reached out, as I said in the video, to the actual publishers, and it just to back up and let you guys know something. This is published and developed by, I think it's Acrobyte, A-C-R-Y-L-B-Y-T-E, all right? I think that's how you say it. It's either Arcobyte or Acrobyte. It's one of the two, right? But I reached out to them on Twitter and I said, hey, I like your game. I want to try your game. I want to have early access to your game. Can you share something with me? So they gave me a Steam key. After going back and forth and telling them, hey, I'll create this kind of video for you. I won't share too much of the demo, too much of the early access. I won't share much of that with you per the request of the developer. So what we're gonna talk about is just a few key things in the game that I played through with this early access, and some of the levels, some of the level designs, and some of the level missions within this game. Now, I will tell you that it kind of has a simplistic feel when it comes to your mech type games. There's Mechabellum, which is a RTS type game, but then you have other types of mech games that exist, like your Armored Core, your Mech Warrior, stuff like that. This game is a simplified version. And I keep mentioning Armored Core because it's more of a simplified version. Okay, I think of this game as an individual that played Armored Core, was probably a bit overwhelmed and needed something simple. This would be that game. This game allows you to still take the power of a mech warrior or a mech machine, right? Your own mobile suit, and feel like you're in control of that mobile suit with all these cool weapons and gadgets and bullets and missiles and shockwaves and all kind of stuff that's in this game that we got to experience. Now, one thing I want to call out for you is just kind of how we're going to cover this game. Okay, we're gonna dive in it and just talk about one, the mechanics, right? What it's like, what it feels like to play this game. and how do some of the attributes work, right? If you're assigning yourself a missile or you're assigning yourself a machine gun, how does that essentially work? Do you have to press it? Is it automatic? We're going to talk about that. Some of the other things we'll talk about is essentially diving deeper into the types of weapons that are in this game. We're also going to talk about the different bosses, the tutorial, as well as the different missions in this game. Now, there's a cool little storyline that's starting to creep up within this game, and I experienced that when I played through it. So I'm going to talk about that as well a little bit. I won't spoil it for you guys, and I will guarantee you the developer wouldn't want me to do that either. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive in to check out the rest of this game. Now, starting out in this game, you get the main menu, right? We got a lot of things on here. We got story mission, arcade mode, module upgrade, and research lab. Okay, we got archives and system settings. That's other stuff we don't need to worry about right now. But for this one in particular, we're going to talk about, again, the game mechanics and the playability, right? So if we're diving into the module upgrade, you'll see here that we have utility, mobility, defense, offense, and special. Okay, now it's as it seems, right? I said before in the video that this is a pretty simple one to get. So if you're looking at this from a simple perspective, you can see that there's defense, right? We have a couple of options on the defense and offense, as well as utility and mobility, right? Those are things you need to keep in mind when you're playing through the game, as they can help you level up. Now we're talking about the research lab here, just click that pretty fast, but primary weapons, secondary weapons, items, and abilities. Now these are the things you get kind of standard, right? You're looking at the missiles here, the homing missile as well. It's pretty standard stuff. All the grayed out are simple upgrades, and then we need to get currency to purchase like the auto turret and these other features. Now we don't do that in this video. Okay, we could show you that, but I gotta play a little bit more. Okay, but this is secondary weapons here, and then we also have our primary weapons, which are things we got to pay attention to as well as we're looking to upgrade within this game. All right, now there's items we need to look at as well. So the items help with healing, they help with cooldown, just like the abilities there help with repairing armor and things of that nature. Okay, so if we're going back to this, looking at the different modules and the module upgrade, want to make sure we look at all this stuff. We have defense and offense and special, again, mobility, right? So these are things I wish I would have paid attention to on my playthrough through this thing, going through these different missions here, the story mission, etc., because it definitely helps to have specific upgrades for specific bosses and specific engagements. Now you can see here from the story missions, it's pretty simple stuff. We got a few levels here, and each level has a couple of missions for each level or each area, I guess you could say. And then what we found out in the game, we were able to play through certain locations and unlock other areas or other missions within that same location. So there seems to be the ability to have a lot of extra playability, which can go a long way. Now we're talking about the controller here. As far as the playability, it seems pretty simple. I'm a claw man. Y'all see it on the screen. As far as, you know, being able to play, I like to play as a claw, grabbing both R triggers and, you know, R2, R1, L2, L1, all that good stuff, right? So this is here, pretty simple setup. It's nothing too complex, and you don't actually need to worry about using all of the weapons that you may acquire throughout your playthrough. Now when it comes to the movement in this game, it's pretty easy. You move the left joystick and then you aim with the right joystick. It's pretty easy to get. It's not very difficult to do within this game. This is a training simulation, so you get to go through training where we get to sync up and learn more about the abilities, right? So just like a roguelike, you shoot around a little bit, you move around, you get the ability to choose items to upgrade your weapon or to upgrade your suit, right? So we could choose through things like gaining more health or repairing our armor, nanites, and all that good stuff, or simply upgrading the assault rifle, right? One of the things I'll tell you, and this is just a little nugget, I would tell you upgrade to the homing missiles. That will be your best bet as far as increasing your sync up rate when you target down a number of enemies. It's really going to help you out. As you see here, we're fighting against the boss. We're launching our homing missiles. We're shooting the assault rifle. We're moving around quite a bit, dodging the lasers, okay? It makes it a lot easier when you set up that way. So again, we're unlocking another restriction here on either upgrades. I said the homing missiles before. I'm telling you, homing missiles work like a look at that. Beautiful. So you guys make sure that you use the homing missiles when you play this game. I think it's pretty cool, pretty standard stuff. But we're moving around here, and I just want to show you guys the movement here is pretty simple. It's easy to understand. Again, move with the L trigger, navigate the weapon with the R trigger. Triggers the analog sticks, right? Left analog stick is to move, right analog stick is to navigate with the actual aiming, and that will help you kind of figure out just how to move and how to shoot within this game. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is selecting your Gigas, which is your mobile suit, essentially. That's what we're calling it in this game. Now in here, you have this area called the hangar. Now this is just another menu that you get into, but this is primarily around picking a suit and using points that you acquire through missions to upgrade your suit, right? You can get different attributes from increasing speed to increasing, armor shots, damage you can take essentially, to also the rifle and weapons that you use. Now we haven't unlocked any other suit in here, but I did see from the trailer, if you go back in the video and you rewind, you'll notice that you are able to get a flying weapon mobile suit type gigas, right? So there may be some attributes in here that lends itself to taking a level with a flying unit or with a ground unit. I don't know. We're not there yet, but I hope that we're able to explore that in further playthroughs that we're able to bring to you guys. But for right now, just pay attention to this hangar place where we're again selecting the weapon here through our playthrough. We're just looking at some things. Later on in the playthrough, we do get to unlock, I think, 2 upgrades within the hangar, but we're not diving in too deep of, I can't even speak right now. We're not diving too deep into analyzing the hangar area just yet. Okay, right now I just wanted to show you the different assets within this game, the different features and functions and menus, so that you understand the overall playability within this game. And just to close this section out, we're going back to the module upgrades because this is something I think you really need to pay attention to. The sync rate is very, very important because the sync rate is what allows you to upgrade your weapons, your missiles, and things of that nature, right? I didn't focus on that. I wish I had, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't. So now that I know the sync rate is very important, on my next set of playthroughs, I'm definitely gonna improve the sync rate and kind of get that going and see what that's like. When we can actually show more content from early access being released, I'll do that. But I'll check in with the devs after they view this video and make sure I can at least go live to show you some stuff live because I really like this game, really want to bring it to you guys. But this will conclude this section of the video. Again, just going over the mobility, looking at some of those modules. You can read those on the screen, but they're really good with boosting, moving around, getting your cooldowns down quicker to be able to boost as well. So you're good to go. And then again, your defense module as well. So don't skip out on this menu. It's easy to miss from the main menu. If you're just looking to get into the story mode, you might not come out and get to the research lab or the module upgrade. So just make sure on your playthrough that you're coming back out of the story mode and going to actually get utilize your points towards your gigas, right? To get yourself upgraded for the next fights because you're gonna need it. Trust me. We're gonna talk about some of the weapons and upgrading in the next section. So starting off with this one, we're looking again at the hangar, right? I want to talk about this really quick because this is what I did in my gameplay of upgrading the weapons. As you can see, we moved our module over to our weapon on our assault rifle. Okay, now it seems that you're only able to upgrade your assault rifle and your armor and some of the gigas like mechanics within the hangar. You're not able to upgrade the weapon, so to speak. I think that's for a different section of the game, which is probably your modules or the research lab. I think it might be the research lab, unlocking weapons and things like that. But for here, we basically get to select buffs, right? So you see I got another point that I'm applying here, and I'm just looking at which one do I want to move that to within the upgrade. So it seems you get one column, one row, where you can go left or right, and then you can pick within that column which one to get, right? So make sure you guys pay attention to that on your playthrough. Now we're in the research lab, as I mentioned earlier. Now in the research lab, you're able to acquire new weapons, okay? You have a base start of missiles, homing missiles, bombardment missiles, but you're able to upgrade to other things, right? Given if you have enough points or currency to do so. So make sure that when you're on your playthrough, you check that out. I think the weapons in here are pretty cool. For me, when I was going through my playthrough, the biggest thing that I upgraded was the homing missiles. Okay, the homing missiles helped out quite a bit. I also upgraded a couple of things in the module section, in the module grid, but I really didn't focus on that so much, okay? As you see here, we were getting a lot of damage, attempting to move around, figure it out. This is me going through the training again on here, but this is training against a different individual. I think this was a second level of training, and it was very tough. I'm gonna tell you, bro, it was tough, all right? We are here trying to survive our life, you know what I'm saying? Fighting for our lives, but we got the pulse thing. I can't remember the name of that, but eventually it shocks them, puts them in a state of paralysis so that we can run up and shoot them and gun them down with our missiles, right? The homing missiles didn't work too good against this guy, and I don't think we're supposed to beat this. Now, one thing I'll tell you, the devs were like, oh, try to beat the training boss a couple times. And I'm like, bro, There's no way you could do that without upgrading, all right? So we couldn't do it. It is what it is. We jump back into this to complete, the missions. So this is one here is me, just getting out there fighting against I think this is the second boss, if I'm not mistaken. This is the second boss in the game where we fight, and we're just unloading. We're attempting to protect this factory here and attempting to take out all these things. Now, I didn't know there was a second wave, all right? We had to go through a time-based scenario for the first one to fight against that boss, and then, or at least the second boss will come right after that, right? Here, we're fighting another boss. This is the third boss, I think, right now, with a lot of our upgrades attached, okay? We upgraded the sync rate, so we should be getting our upgrades a lot quicker. We have our homing missile that we're upgrading quite a bit, all right, as we play through this game, because that's numero uno, is to do the homing missiles. I'm telling you. Now look at this. We got our missile bombardments launching out there, like good stuff. All right, you see, y'all see the gameplay. Anyway, this one's really cool, man. I just really want to talk about the weapons quite a bit. The fact that you get, the launcher, right, for the fire. We get the missiles. It's pretty cool stuff, man. So that one's pretty cool. I think that for the most part, if you're looking for a game that reminds you of that whole Gundam Armored Core kind of feel with a lot of weapons and missiles, this is definitely going to be the game for you. Now let's move to the next section. Now in this game, I'm not going to spoil the story for you too much, but I mean, you should practically be able to get it for the most part. There seems to be this thing that we find, technology, sources of energy, and we're able to reverse engineer that thing. Okay, reverse engineer that thing to get more stuff out of it to improve our equipment, our way of life, and things of that nature. But as you all know, there's always some factions, some things going on, some conflict, right? We gotta have a conflict, and it's across the entire globe. Okay, so there's fighting going on, there's famine, there's different kinds of societies that are existing, and we're all attempting to improve human existence. Okay, now we get into these mechs. Now it seems like we're fused with this machine. I don't quite know what's going on. I'm still figuring it out, but the storyline seems very engaging. It's pretty cool. Now they don't have any CGI or cutscenes and things like that. I think it's mostly hand rendered generated artwork that we're looking at, so zoom ins, pans, and things of that nature. But the storyline seems pretty cool, and the missions themselves seem a lot of fun, man. Especially as you start to upgrade your gigas, it becomes a lot more fun. Now I know we will get different types of gigas suits, mobile suits to use for our story missions, but for our playthrough, this one was pretty cool. All right, it seemed very engaging. You do get a series of people that do help you out in this game, so you're not by yourself. When you're going through your missions, they're giving you hints, they're helping you out with your gear. There's other people that have suits themselves, gigas as well, on your team, and they will also help fight through this thing. So you do get mission briefings for each mission, right? So this is on the screen as you see. We have the story mission. We're getting briefed on what's supposed to be happening. We get the Elysium announcer. I'm not putting any audio in here for the game specifically, so you're not going to hear any of that. But you can see on screen that we're listening and getting our brief for the next mission here. Now, regarding the teams and how this is breaking out, you see people on the screen right now. That's typically how they appear. Left and right, you have individuals talking amongst themselves, also talking to you, giving you orders as well. So we're figuring out, what's going on in this laboratory, factory scenario, how we need to help the individuals essentially improve what they're working on, their technology and science for our, situation and what we need essentially is what's going on here. So again, like I said before, the story is very engaging. I like the fact that it's building this world that we get to play in as is Gigas, and we have the power of weaponry, missiles, and all that. It's super sick. I don't know, for me, I love mech games. I said this before in the video that this is my thing, right? So you'll see a lot more of mech games coming to the channel. I just gotta find the time in my life to do so, but they will come. And also, if the devs allow me to play a little bit more of early access, I'll show even way more content to you guys. So stay tuned, coming soon for sure. Let's talk more about the story and the missions. Now, as I mentioned before, it seems like really cool artwork that they're including in the game as far as in place of the cutscenes. But look at this. Look at the graphics here, the illustrations. This is really nice to look at. I kind of geek out over stuff like this. Like, look at this thing. What in the Evangelion is going on here? You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this. This thing is beautiful, man. So, like, the amount of work that went into creating these art pieces and whatnot, I think is really cool. The laboratory here, you see them doing research. And again, you'll find out more about the storyline, why they're reverse engineering things, why they're dissecting things, why they're taking things apart, recoding it, coding it, things of that nature. You'll see all of that play out in this game, right, as you go. So make sure to check out early access. All right, make sure to do that. Okay, so I'm continuing to show you guys a little bit more of the artwork here and just reading a little bit more of the story on screen if you're able to see that small text. But look at the graphics here. I mean, come on, bro. Like, this is so cool. I swear, yo, I like looking at this stuff, man. So as I was playing through the game, I'm like, man, I'm immersing myself in this. The whole politics of it all, the whole like the storyline behind countries and factions and differences in opinion and politics. It's really cool, man. I mean, some of this we're living today, right? As adults, we see it. But look at this stuff. Look at this screen of this craziness going on here, man. It's cool how they capture the essence of the game, which is supposed to be experience. That's like really, really cool for me. So like, I just dug in. I couldn't. Part of me, I played maybe almost 3 hours of this game early access. I had to put it down because I would have like played too much of the game. And I know that I can't show you all a lot. But hopefully this is doing it for you. Hopefully you're seeing this, you're looking at some of the words on screen and reading some of the storyline, and also the gameplay. Hopefully, seeing the missions that we've shown here, some of the setups, the interfaces of the game. Hopefully that's doing it for you. You know what I'm saying? If it's not doing it for you, let me know in the comments what would. If you're watching this video, jump up in the comments. Let me know, how you feel about this and what you think this game is all about. Or if you checked out the early access, let me know if you played it and was like, yo, this is legit, or nah, this ain't cool, bro. So definitely let me know in the comments, man. But yeah, I'm gonna get back into playing this thing. I'm just gonna let y'all know right now, I need to get back into playing this. So until then, Chill Crew, you know what to do. Stay cool. Peace. Oh, bro, what? That was so close, Chill Crew. That was so close. That was a good mission, though. That was a good mission, though.